work, and it was a shame, really, because he worked in a factory carrying heavy things, and his arms were all cut and scraped, and he was used to real estate and insurance, not labor, so. But he never complained, and she could speak several languages, so she did interpretations in the courts.
In the courts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes they don't recognize the degrees or the education of immigrants,
yes,
and they, even if they were doctors in their home country, they wind up
They're
being laborers here.
They had a lovely home in Cuba on the edge of a golf course, which was taken away from them, and they had to move. They were going on a trip. They couldn't take much with them. They're just allowed so much money in their clothing. But they came along. He worked his way up, and he did very well. But
good.
Then they moved south because it was warmer.
You can miss that Cuban weather.
Yes.
So,
but one time, the oldest son, had grown up, and he came up to visit us because he's going to go skiing in Vermont. He says, "I left my car in a pile of snow in Virginia." He said, "I don't know why I'm coming up here."
Oh, wow.
But he did.
Wow. So it's quite a picture, picturing you in a bug with your little children going grocery shopping.
Yes.
Like, how'd you do that? So you were a stay-at-home mom once you had the kids, is that right?
Yes, until they were in high school. And then I worked for the superintendent's office. And they were so afraid I was going to be sent to the high school and see them.
Oh, the kids.
Yeah.
Mom will be so embarrassed.
Yeah.
That's what kids are.
Yeah.
So the superintendent's office wasn't in the high school then?
No, that was in the
Center
school, yeah.
Yeah. So you worked there.
Yeah, for a while. Then they sent me to Converse Street School Library because the librarian was leaving. And that was just to end out the year. And then they wanted me back, put me in the budget. And then I didn't stay too long because I went to work with my husband, and I also, I was in on, this is in 1973 though, the Council on Aging started.
Oh, it did?
And I was the administrative assistant, and Inger Bolduc was the director.
Of the first Council on Aging.
And we had it in the American Legion building.
That building is really small, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's across from where CVS and Rinaldi's is now. It's that little bitty.
We did so much.
It looks like it's one room, is it?
No, no.
No, it's bigger than that
There's
inside?
3 rooms. And we had a kitchen put in. First, we got the food from the high school.
Uh-huh.
And then
See,
we had a
that.
kitchen put in there. And then there was another room where we gathered, and then the office. And a couple of bathrooms.
So that was the start of the Council on Aging to this fabulous facility we have now. So, like, how many people came? What did you do there?
It was amazing. We started with the people having their feet done.
Mm-hmm.
The nurses came, and they would visit people in homes, and we had all kinds of programs, exercise, and there was some man that played the piano, and
you had a piano. That's good.
Yeah. And there were a lot of volunteers. Rose Troiano was one of the first.
She was?
Yeah.
Wow.
And she's here now.
Inger said that was a really big fight getting that.
It was a fight.
And that building before it was the Council on Aging, what was it used for?
Oh, several things. I think
it was town hall originally.
Yeah, it was even a jail at one time.
A jail?
Yes.
Oh.
It's seen a lot of action.
By the time we got it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's amazing. Yeah. Inger was telling me how, there were seniors in their homes who really did need.
Yes, help. Yeah.
Help.
Yeah.
Help. And
but
it
was amazing how a real stormy day. We didn't think anybody'd come, but they did. We're tough.
That's right. Seen it all.
I'm there now.
Right.
Senior.
Right. Well, that was great.
Yeah.
That was great. So, did you and Bill, as a couple, have any entertainment in Longmeadow? Did you go anywhere?
Yes. Well, of course, with the children, we with them while they were around. You know, we both worked in Scouts.
Oh, Scouts. Yeah.
I was a Scout leader from the 2nd grade to the 6th, through the 6th. And Bill worked with the Boy Scouts. And we went camping a lot.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we loved camping. And Bill and I went square dancing.
Oh, where'd you go square dancing?
Well, they didn't have any in Longmeadow at that time, but we went to West Springfield.
Uh-huh.
My brother asked us to get us going.
He was in West Springfield?
Yeah, we loved it. We loved it. And they got one in Longmeadow, too, so.
Finally.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was great.
So, yeah, they had some activities at the community house.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And some for kids, too?
Yes, there was the kids. I remember my son saying they went, and my daughter both went to movies. It was only a quarter. No, they brought a quarter and 15 cents for the movies, like Hop-Along Cassidy,
Yeah.
those cowboy movies. And then there was a Coke machine where they spent the rest of the money.
Oh, and refreshments.
Yes, yeah. I don't know if they had popcorn then.
My mother used to make us bring the popcorn to the movies in those like wax bags, you know, the
Yes.
garbage bag.
Yeah,
That was so
yeah.
embarrassing.
We had popcorn here one time.
You did?
Yeah. Somebody brought it for a movie.
Seems like a good idea,
Yeah.
but it can not be. So, so that was good. So you went square dancing, and did you ever go to the Turnverein? Was the Turnverein still active when you were here in Turner Park?
I went before I was married there, I know. But there was a company picnic there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Mass Mutual.
No, it was a Sample Durack.
Bill's company.
Bill and his father's company, and a brother.
So tell me about that. I haven't so far met anyone who went there when it was up and running. What was it like?
Gee, I don't know. That was before I was married, because I think they had a fire.
They did have a fire
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
But it was
But when I went with the company,
was it a restaurant?
yeah, I think so. Maybe dancing there.
Yeah,
I really
dancing.
can't remember too much about it, because when we went with the company, it was like a picnic, a clam bake or something.
It was different kind of event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It sort of came and went.
Yes.
And there was a dance hall. There was a restaurant. There was a burger place.
Oh.
There was something was burned down. Something else
Yeah.
started. Finally, the town bought it all in the 50s. They bought what now Turner Park was 10 lots, house lots. And they were trying to stop development.
Oh,
You
yes.
understand?
Yes,
Because I'm sure you felt the
Yes.
taxes.
Yes.
The taxes in that period were incredible, incredible. And had such variability. Like one year it'd be $55 a thousand, then it'd be 33. It was like crazy. But houses weren't fully valued, so I don't know how it actually worked. But but anyway, they bought one parcel a year. They made a deal with the German family that owned the 10 parcels to buy one a year out of the regular budget. And that's how they got it and stopped it. But still, I'm sort of interested in what happened there before, and because I've heard stories, but not a real person who was there.
I was real, but it was, God, it was so long ago.
And you're still real, Pauli. You're still
so
real.
long ago.
Yeah. And you were at a picnic, so that was like a
Yeah,
different
yeah.
period of time.
But
there.
I went before the fire, though, and it was like a restaurant and dancing, if I remember right. It was
Yeah.
before I was married.
all wiped out. That disc is erased.
Yeah.
So let's see. So I've got you in your bug, your groceries, your little kids. Wow. And you were working as soon as they were old enough to take care of themselves, basically. Some ride their bikes.
They're in high school.
Then you went back to work.
Yeah.
And stayed working. Well, that's so interesting about the Council on Aging, starting that.
Yeah.
Did you go?
We worked 15 months without pay.
At the beginning?
And then they gave us I had the big title of administrative assistant, but not
you worked
much money.
15 months without pay?
Yes, just
So
to get it started.
They just didn't want to pay you, or
They didn't
want to have it?
Probably didn't have it in the budget, you know how things go.
That's right. So they let you use the building?
Oh, they let us use it, yeah.
That was it?
We sat on boxes for a while, gradually got things.
You did? You were in boxes? Oh, wow. Talk about from the ground up.
Yeah, I think First Church donated some nice tables for the dining room. And, you know, there were other donations.
Which was the big room, right?
Yes, yeah.
Right. Well, it's like here. Most of what we have is donated.
Yes.
That's why we have a piano in every room.
I think this was Inger's piano, I bet.
Oh, yeah?
And there's a buffet in the hall.
That's a lovely buffet,
Yeah.
Yeah, people donate. So you started out on boxes, and then people gave things. And 15 months later, the town gave some money for a salary for you and Inger. Was that it?
Yes,
Like how many hours a week were you open? Were you open every day?
Yes.
Yes?
Well, 5 days a week.
No, right.
Yeah.
Right. Great.
Yeah.
So you just cobbled it together and provided that service. And the word, just went out among the seniors in Long Meadow? The churches, what?
The churches helped a lot, yeah.
They did.
And during that time, I think Emerson Manor was being built too, and that was under churches and
right.
So
That's
forth.
an interfaith thing. Wow, that is so interesting to hear that and see how far we've come and how not so far, because we're still cobbling it together and on a shoestring and getting a lot of help from the community.
Yes. Yeah.
It's volunteers and volunteer help that make it work, that make it all work. Well, Pauli, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
This has been great to have a real life boomer mother from the Young Mothers Group, the Maternal Association and everything.
Oh, yes, I was the maternal.
Yeah?
And then we had church group and
Great.
a lot of things.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure churches had a lot of social activities, too.
Yes.
Well, thanks so much for coming. And thank you for joining us today and hearing about life in Long Meadow 50 or so years ago. Thanks.